Hello everyone, welcome back. Well, it is time to take a look at the top of the line tier 10 ships. I will start with battleships. This is Gallente's tier 10 battleship Hyperion. Now, I'll start with this ship and I'll pretty much take a look at all of them to see which one I will like the most. Now, the Hyperion has been around for a while, at least in EVE Online, and I'm happy to be flying one in this game as well. Its design, well, it is very interesting. The ship is indeed very long, from end to end 1500 meters, which I think makes it in the one of the longest battleships in the game. Now, this ship has interesting bonuses. Advanced large railgun operation per level will give you plus 10% large railgun damage, plus 7.5% large railgun accuracy fall-off. Advanced battleship command bonus per level, that will give you plus 7.5% armor repair efficiency. So this is a armor tank ship. It has 2 drones, 8 high slots, 4 medium slots and 6 low slots, 3 combat rigs, 3 engineering rigs. Like I said before, this is mainly a armor tank ship. They did change the armor and of course the armor modules, so that will be fun to test out to see how it works. Should actually be pretty good. The rest of the stats for this ship are nice and they are also comparable to the rest of the tier 10 battleships. Now, onto the fit that I have for this ship. Well, this is the medium to long range build with the long range hybrid weapons. 1.7 thousand DPS, not bad. That number will be a lot higher with close range weapons. 44.28 optimal range, 36.3 kilometer accuracy fall-off. Overall pretty nice. These turrets do a lot of damage to cruisers, battle cruisers and battleships. In the medium slots, dual Nosferatu, 1 web scrambler, dual drones. As for the drones, you can also swap the medium drones for large drones if you like. And of course, you can swap 1 Nosferatu for 1 neutralizer against frigates, destroyers and cruisers that get too close. Dual armor repair, 1 afterburner, dual hardener and 1 reactive. So I focused this ship for armor tanking primarily because it already has enough DPS. These are the rigs focused for rate of fire and focused on DPS. These are the engineering rigs. This ship is very slow. I thought slapping 1 auxiliary thruster will help it. You can replace the auxiliary thruster with a targeting rig because after all these are battleships and they can have trouble locking on smaller targets. These are the close range railguns. 8 optimal, 18 fall-off. Very high DPS, 2.3k DPS on this Hyperion with this build. Now, I'd like to either use dual webs, 1 scram and 1 NOS, or I can replace that 1 NOS with a neutralizer against frigates or destroyers, but I think this might also work. Haven't had problems with tracking so far, despite this being a very large battleship, so it will be interesting to see how it will perform in live combat. Alright, well, let's see how this little ship will perform once all modules are active. DPS is going to remain the same. I don't feel like the need to actually improve the DPS. 2326 is more than enough for the daily tasks, so I decided to focus further on the the ship's resistance. Pretty nice resistance, a little hole on explosive, but the reactive should help out in that case. Its capacitor, quite stable, 22 minutes, can be improved, I think. Okay, and its velocity 544.24 meters per second. Well, it's not that bad. It is still very slow, but it is not as slow as other battleships. Alright, well, let's see how this little ship will perform in a fight. So, when you unlock tier 10, you are also going to unlock the tier 10 encounters, and of course the tier 10 missions, which are quite rewarding. Personally, one of my personal goals is to get to tier 10 only because of the missions. I can clear them very fast without worrying too much, and the reward is actually pretty good. So getting to tier 10 has its advantages, missions being one of them. The rewards are actually pretty nice, and the difficulty is also quite balanced. You can clear them with a faction cruiser pretty easily, and I think any other cruiser will also work. Now, the DPS on this thing is pretty good so far. It is eating all of these ships without a problem. Haven't noticed any problems with tracking so far. All targets are getting successfully hit. Now for storylines, I would prefer to use the other long-range weapons, mostly because the elite ships can be a problem. For storylines, I would also change couple rigs into targeting rigs. Wouldn't be risking those missions because, again, of the smaller interceptors that can be a serious problem. But for PvP, for gate camps, for major fleet battles, you practically don't need to carry a targeting rig around, although it is quite useful. And I've just realized something, that I added a little bit more drones than my drone bay can hold, so I can't return my medium drones to swap them for the large ones. So I'll have to pull out some drones out of that drone bay when I dock next time. That is something that I've kind of didn't see coming, but yeah, I forgot that the drone bay has its limitations. Now back onto the ship here. These close range shotguns so far are, I think, going to be very nice for the stuff that I usually do, for PvP at least. They deliver very nice DPS. Will absolutely work if your ship is heavily tanked. Now, speaking of the tank, this ship repairs itself very quickly. So a targeting rig will do very good in storylines if you are aiming for a close range build. Now, I might attempt a tier 10 story with this ship, with this current build, just to see what will happen. Should be able to withstand all the incoming damage because of the bonuses on the armor repair. It repairs again very quickly. I think it repairs around 5000 HP per both cycles. That is not bad. That's actually pretty good. And these are not the Type C armor repairers. They are the highest faction one. The Type C unfortunately wasn't available on the market, so I had to go with these armor repairs. Type Cs repair a little bit more. They make the ship a little bit more tankier, I guess. So they are a added bonus on top of the ship's ability to repair itself. Very glad that they changed, that they actually rebalanced the armor stuff. Now I can try a lot of the different builds out, and let's just take a look at the resistances. Well, okay, that looks pretty nice. It balanced it out. Well, actually not yet, because my shield is still holding out. Let's see, 1696 per cycle. Not bad, not bad at all. That's well, I thought it was, yeah, Type Cs are 5000 per bow cycle. Okay, my little mistake there. I thought these were Type Cs for a moment. Well, actually, I used Type C repair data, not the current ones. Type Cs are going to, you know, I think if I find them on the market, I'll definitely buy them, just to see how much improvement can you actually feel if you change into them. In most cases, the current ones are going to do a good job. You will not feel the difference immediately, but in critical situations, the difference can be seen. In some cases, that might be the difference between life and death. Right, well, I am still rolling these missions, getting used to all of these different ships. Now, I made the little mistake of not going to the keep at range option, so I went to the orbit option. And you don't go orbit small ships, you keep them at range in order to make it easy for the guns to hit on the target. As you could see there, the resistances kind of changed a little bit, and now I am in armor, taking armor damage. Both repairs are active. One repair is, in most cases, more than enough to repair all damage. I added two just because, well, I was curious to see how it would work. I thought it was a good idea. And in most cases it actually is, because you can repair yourself pretty quickly. Now the trick here is to have the cycles on the armor repairs a little bit different. I think I almost nailed the perfect timing there, so both can kind of repair me at different times. That way the armor can be repaired faster. It is still kind of the same, but the armor gets repaired more constantly. The next target will be this command battle cruiser. They added a lot of new ships, a lot of new battleships, battle cruisers, even frigates. They haven't added the frigates that I think people would enjoy the most. I still wish to see a Assault Drifter or Assault Tristan. Those two frigates I think need more love in the game. Iconic ships would be a waste to, forget about them. But we will see. I'll be patient and I'll see what they will do about that. Overall, I like some of the new ships. I think the striker battleships will be very fun. They have a siege mode that I will show you how that works. Very similar to the siege mode on dreadnoughts in EVE Online. Basically, they reduce your velocity while improve your DPS. It kind of works in a similar way in this game. Now this battleship doesn't have that. It is a ordinary tier 10 battleship, kind of look at the ship like looking at a endgame ship, although it is not the endgame ship because we all know we will also get dreadnoughts very soon. I'm not quite sure if I will fly them. I'll definitely play with them in when they get. Well, actually, I think I'll fly them. We'll definitely test them out. Those ships will be very fun for major fleet battles. You can definitely expect a lot of that in the future. Now on to the next mission. This is a Minmatar mission. Minmatar ships tend to love to shoot at armors and hulls. Now I was curious to see how much damage will they do to my armor. So far, barely scratching the surface. Ship holding out quite well. Still using one armor repair most of the time. The second armor repair is there just in case if I need it. Would definitely use it a lot if I were to do a storyline. I think I just need to throw this ship at a storyline and see what happens, to see if it can tank the whole storyline with dual armor repairs. After all, I have to do that, so that will be a topic for probably for another future video. We will see what will happen. At the moment, kind of want to enjoy all of these new ships. Now the Maelstrom is going to be fun. It is, I think, it would be my first tier 10 battleship that I will personally buy, mostly for missions. It has, at least in EVE Online, it has amazing range with autocannons and artillery. Over 100 kilometers with ease. I think I can kind of get the same thing to work in this game. In the end of the day, I still enjoy to fly my cruisers most of the time. Battleships are also nice to have. I don't know if they will be cheaper than faction cruisers, might actually be the case, or they might be around the same price. That means at the moment I can afford to buy one of these ships, although I'm not tier 10 yet. Still some time to go until tier 10. Might go and speed up with dual Omega combo. I have no idea. It will be a major hit on my wallet, but I think I will go for tier 10. These ships are definitely worth it. Now, these ships are good. Personally, I would use these ships for storylines and other PvE stuff. The strikers are more suitable for PvP and for fleets. I think that's their primary purpose. Of course, you can also use strikers for you can use striker battleships for storylines too, but actually, you know, I will come up to a conclusion after I try one of them out, because they can have higher DPS. They can clear stuff very fast, but they don't have the same tank. They don't have the same resistance. So I guess in the end, all of them have their ups and downs. In the end, they're all battleships. Big, slow ships that have very big guns and that do a lot of DPS. Well then, I am surprised how well this Hyperion works. And I can already tell you, I am starting to love this ship. Usually, ships that I love, I buy, so this ship will be in my hangar when I hit tier 10. Not quite sure what its original price is going to be. I expect it to be up to 1 billion at at peak. Could be a little bit higher than that, could be a little bit lower, who knows. This one and the Maelstrom are definitely going to be joining my hangar at one point, one day. As for the other assault battleships, I think I will call the other battleships assault battleships because that's pretty much their role because of the special mode. That special mode will be very interesting. I think I'll be able to achieve some very crazy numbers, very crazy DPS numbers. That will be fun. 3 more ships left to delete, and this mission should be completed. Right, very nice. That was the... oh, it wasn't the last ship. Okay. I was wrong. I was wrong. Alright, well, on to the next wave. By the way, all skills, well, most skills are maxed out. I maxed out all the railgun skills. The armor skills are also pretty high up there. So this is what a almost maxed out Hyperion might work when they get officially released. Well, I am very satisfied with its performance. It delivers for its price. It definitely delivers. The DPS is very good. Cannot complain about 2.3k DPS. It is more than enough to basically complete anything. Even in PvP, not many ships will survive getting shot at by that number. So you also have that covered. Now I'm thinking if I should do something about the tracking. Some ships can be slippery. No, I did a mistake here. I didn't disable auto orbit. Always disable auto orbit. It makes hitting stuff a lot easier. For example, that probe over there is not getting hit because I am orbiting it. Once I start to take range and once the ship starts to go at a certain angle, that probe will be destroyed. There we go. So with battleships, if you're at medium ranges, always keep at range. If you are at long distances, also keep at range. Small targets should be primary targets. They can be very dangerous if they slip under your guns, so keep that in mind. And now I think this is the last ship of this mission. Capacitor was very stable. Shield, well, of course, shield was down. Armor was super stable. I think it is not easy to break the ship's tank. DPS is alright, it's actually pretty good. Its velocity for battleship, not bad. Overall, a solid tier 10 ship, and I'm pretty sure that people would not complain about getting a Hyperion. Well then, with that being said, hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you in the next one.